morning, boys and girls.
Good morning.
How are you feeling today?
Good.
Oh, that's wonderful, wonderful. How many of you have pets? Do you all have pets? How many of you really, really like your pets? And so, how do you take care of your pets?
Yeah.
How do you take care of them? Go ahead, Sydney. By feeding them? Right. You give them water and you put them in a cage to protect them. Yes, Abby?
Give them some water.
You give them water as well. Yes? Huh?
You scoop their box.
Oh, you scoop the litter box. Do you do that? Sometimes, or do your parents do it? Sometimes. Yes. Now, I know you all love pets. Would you let anything happen to those pets if you can protect them? Would you let someone just come and snatch them away?
No.
Would you let someone just come and eat the pet?
No.
Of course, but why not? Yes?
Because they're beloved.
Because they're beloved. Absolutely. Well, in the gospel story today, Jesus, who is the good shepherd, says the same thing about us. He calls us sheep. And he says no one can snatch us away because he protects us. Do you believe that you're protected by Jesus?
Yes.
Yes. He is the good shepherd who cares for us. And he wants the best for us. But sometimes there are some things and some people in the world who don't want the best for us. And they try to snatch us away from God. Do you know that?
Yes.
What are some of the things that try to lead us away from God? Go ahead.
Maybe losing someone.
Yes, sometimes when people lose a loved one, they feel as though God is not with them. It's very good. Well, let me ask you this. I'll put it in these terms. How many of you are afraid of the big bad wolf? You're not afraid of the big bad wolf? How come? Because it's a story? Yes, Abby? You're afraid of the... Well, we don't want you to be afraid of the big bad wolf. Do you remember that story of the 3 little pigs? Yeah, where the mom sent the 3 little pigs out to live their lives, and then they built houses, and one built the house out of hay or straw, the other built it out of sticks and the bricks, right? And Jesus, our good shepherd, is like the brick. So the wolf came when the pigs had built their house to the first little pig. And he says, little pig, let me in. And what did the little pig say?
No.
Not by the hair on my chinny chin chin. Can you say that? Not by the hair. And then the wolf said, I'll huff and I'll puff and I will blow the house in. And he did it. And what happened? The first little pig ran to the second house. And so the wolf went to the second house and said, little pig, let me in. And then the wolf said, I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow the house in. And the little pig, after the house was blown in, the 2 of them ran to the third. And the wolf said again, little pig, let me in. And what did the pig say?
Not by the hair on the chinny chin chin.
Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow the house in. And he huffed and he puffed and he blew. And what happened?
Nothing happened.
It didn't work? How come?
Because the bricks are strong and sturdy.
The bricks are strong and sturdy.
The bricks are like Jesus.
And the bricks are like Jesus. How are the bricks like Jesus? Because the bricks protect us. So we want to listen to Jesus, the good shepherd, who is a solid rock. And we must learn to know his voice. Do you think you can recognize the voice of Jesus?
Maybe.
Well, let me see if you can recognize familiar voices first. Just close your eyes and let me see if you know this voice.
Follow me.
I can't do
Who's that? Sounds like y'all. All right, let's try it again. It's the next one.
Follow me.
My dad.
Do you know that?
Yeah.
Sounds like you call that name pretty often. Let's try one more time. Close your eyes. Let's see if you can recognize this one.
Follow me.
Miss Heather.
Max said, my mom. Does she call your name often, Max? Yes? Sometimes too much? Yes. Well, you have great recognition, and you can hear the voice. So, how can we hear Jesus' voice? Yes, Scott? How do you hear Jesus' voice? By loving God? Yes. Caring for other people? Loving one another. So when you come to church and you hear people reading from the Bible, is that God speaking to us?
Yes.
When you hear Father Mario preaching, is that God speaking to us?
Yes.
When you hear your parents telling you to behave and to listen to one another, is that God speaking to us?
Yeah.
And so if you hear a voice that says, hit that little boy, is that God speaking to us?
No, that's the devil.
That's, who's that?
Satan.
Satan. Okay. If you hear a voice telling you, steal the cookie from the cookie jar,
No.
is that God speaking? Really? That is not God speaking. Huh? It's Satan. That's right. Why? Because it's stealing. So the voice of God, does the voice of God tell us to do bad things?
No.
Does the voice of God tell us to do good things?
Yes.
And so which voice are you going to listen to?
Yes.
Jesus, because Jesus is the one who protects us and keeps us. So when those voices come to say, little Sam, little Sydney, let me in, what are you going to say? No, not by the hair on my chinny chin chin.
No.
Right?
No.
Because you're going to follow God, the Good Shepherd. Right? How many of you want to follow Jesus?
Me.
How many of you are going to listen to his voice?
Me.
Wonderful. Let's stand up and tell them then what we're going to do. Jesus is our Good Shepherd. We are his sheep. And we're going to follow him. Ba, ba, ba. Thank you very much.